Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. This is going to be Fantasy Football 101, a beginner's guide to fantasy football, episode number 8. This is going to be the last episode of this series. Today we're going to be looking at the draft. We're going to go over to Fantasy Pros website and we're going to do the mock draft simulator again. I'm going to go on their website. So when you're on their website, you just go to Draft Wizard. It's going to have NFL here, and then we go down to Draft Simulator. Click Start a Mock Draft. So I'm just going to set up real quick. So we're doing 2020 seasons of Redraft League. We'll do half-point PPR, Snake. We'll do 12 teams. We're going to do 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. We're going to make 1 flex spot as well. And we'll do the 6 people on the bench. And we're going to use all the expert rankings and the composite ADPs. Otherwise, if you didn't want to use one of them, you just unclick here. So if you didn't want to use the expert rankings, you could unclick it. Or if you just want to use the ADP from like a certain site like Yahoo, Fantrax, ESPN, like that, you can change it there. I'm not going to put a pick clock on, so we can just kind of talk in between picks. So we're going to do 12 teams, draft position. Right now it says 12th. We're just going to hit the randomize button, see what we end up on. So we're going to have the 6th pick. And that's pretty much it for here. So we're going to get started. Start your draft. So this is going to be like a first little mock draft. I'm going to kind of talk through the draft and then kind of my thought process through it as well. Essentially, with the draft, the reason why the draft is the most important part of your season is you're going to get the bulk of your team here. You can't just win a league through the draft, but you can definitely lose your league through the draft. So we're going to talk about that. We'll bring up a couple strategies. We'll have more videos where we talk more about strategies. So we're already familiar with the site, so we're going to take the tour. We're going to go. So we got the 6th pick. So we're going to take a look, see who all came off the board. So we got McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara went number 2. That's kind of a surprise. Saquon number 3. Then we had Michael Thomas number 4, and Zeke all the way at 4, or all the way at 5. Excuse me. So Zeke at 5 is kind of a surprise there. And for this year, the sweet spot of where I want to draft kind of is like the 6, 7, 8, 9 range. That's kind of where I like to draft from this year. I like to have 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds if I can. And then with that being said, I also like picks kind of in the middle between rounds. I don't prefer the bookend picks just because you're picking 2 guys real close together, and then like in the later rounds you're going to have to reach for like a position of need or somebody that you like, just to make sure you get the guys that you want. So at number 6 here, they're showing like who the experts would pick. So we got Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon. These probably be the top choices at this pick. Dalvin Cook, he's obviously got a holdout situation right now, so I'm going to be avoiding him in most of the leagues unless he signs a deal. Plus, he's a little bit injury prone. Derrick Henry, since this is a PPR league, I'm not really crazy about Derrick Henry at this spot. So if this is me and I'm picking, I'm going to go with Joe Mixon here. And in a lot of like mocks I've done, I've been doing Joe Mixon kind of around this area, 6, 7, 8, 9 if he's there. So we'll take a look and see who all goes off the board after my pick. We're not going to go every single round who got picked since then. So we picked Joe Mixon, then Nick Chubb actually went after him, which is kind of a surprise. Then Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, Aaron Jones goes in the back of the first round. That's kind of a surprise as well. He's more in the middle of the second round. Then we got Kenyon Drake, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, Travis Kelce. So no big surprises here in the second round. Travis Kelce, the first tight end being off the board. Nothing too crazy. So here I'm going to want to look for most likely a second running back. I like to stack running backs early this year. You want to get guys that they have a role already on their team and kind of secure on their team, especially this year because the running back position is not as deep as in years past. These are the players they're recommending now: Chris Godwin, Austin Eckler, George Kittle, Kenny Galladay. I think if I was going to pick a wide receiver right here, I'm going to see who they are, who else left. So we got Chris Godwin, Kenny Galladay, Mike Evans, Allen Robinson. I probably would take Galladay or Godwin if I was taking a wide receiver here. Kittle could be a little bit tempting since Kelce just went. But if I'm taking a tight end, I don't like to take a tight end early. And if I do, I want to take them like in the middle of the third round. So if like Kittle or Kelce drop to the middle of the third round, I consider it then. It's too early to take a quarterback. Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, they'll probably go around the 3rd round. So looking here, we got Austin Eckler, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Todd Gurley, Leonard Fournette. So I'm not crazy about the running backs here, because Edwards-Helaire is probably going to be a little bit of time share with Diamond Williams. Todd Gurley, he's more of a 3rd round pick for me. And then Austin Eckler is kind of here. So right now, for me, I'm kind of between Galladay and Austin Eckler. I'm just going to take Galladay, see how our team turns out, actually. And this is part of what makes mock drafts interesting, too. You can try out different strategies as well. So actually, Austin Eckler, he fell all the way down to 303. Godwin went right after him. Then George Kittle, Lamar Jackson came off the board right away. We had Juju go in the 2nd round. That's a little bit early for him. Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the end of the 2nd, so that's kind of about where he's been. Allen Robinson a little bit higher. And Odell at 302. We had Eckler, then Fournette, then Mike Evans. So right here, since we did take a wide receiver the last round, I'm probably going to be taking a running back here, because you want to get 2 good running backs. So let's see what we got. We got Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, Chris Carson, James Conner. So this one's kind of tough, because usually I like to get 2 running backs in that group before like where Eckler was going. So now that we didn't get that, maybe I'll wait again. 2 tight ends are gone. It's too early for me to take quarterback. I don't want to take quarterback this early. I mean, Mahomes is out there. Wide receiver, we got Amari Cooper. I'm avoiding all costs this year. Adam Thielen, DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. We're going to try DJ Moore here and just kind of see what happens. So Gurley went right after that, then Connor, Woods. So I think a lot of good players came off the board since our last pick. So we had Gurley, Connor, Robert Woods, Patrick Mahomes, Adam Thielen, Melvin Gordon, Mark Andrews, Calvin Ridley, Jonathan Taylor, Courtland Sutton. That's a little bit early for him. Amari Cooper slid all the way down to the 4th round, then David Johnson. So we're still kind of where we're looking for that running back. Here, I'm not too upset with these 2 guys that are here, Chris Carson and Le'Veon Bell. Good look at wide receiver real quick. Nobody that jumps out right away there for me. So at this pick, I'm going to go with Le'Veon Bell. He's at least going to have the... Chris Carson has more injury concerns this year, and Le'Veon, he got a big workload last year, and his offensive line's a little bit better, so we're going to go with him. I don't think this is too bad to start to the draft. We got 2 solid running backs with workloads. We got 2 good wide receivers so far. I'm just going to look at my team over here real quick. We got Joe Mixon, Le'Veon Bell, Kenny Galladay, and DJ Moore. We could definitely be doing a lot worse. So now we're in the 5th round. Did David Montgomery go? I think David Montgomery went already. I was kind of eyeballing him on this pick. We got Mark Ingram, Devin Singletary, Raheem Mostert. This is kind of where you get into the guys that are splitting times in the backfield. So Mark Ingram, he's probably got the biggest lion's share. I'm not crazy about him right here either. Wide receivers, Devontae Parker, T.Y. Hilton, Stephon Diggs. I was kind of hoping, Montgomery went 2 picks ago. Cooper Kupp went all the way in the 5th round. That's kind of a surprise. I was kind of hoping one of these 2 guys here, McLaurin or Chark, would kind of fall to us for a 3rd wide receiver. A.J. Brown went all the way in the 4th round, too. That's kind of late for him. So this is kind of for me, this is almost like no man's land, because I'm not crazy about anybody in this position. We got Darren Waller at tight end. What quarterbacks are left? So we got Dak, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray. So quarterback wouldn't be too bad here, but since all 4 of these guys are still here, I'm going to wait on that. So when you're drafting, you either want to start or end the run on a certain position. So say if I draft a quarterback here, maybe it starts a run on quarterback where 3 quarterbacks get taken in a row, or 3 out of 5 picks are quarterback. So you either want to get the value at the beginning of it, or you want to get the value at the end of the run. You could wait until 10 teams have quarterbacks, because then no team's really going to take a quarterback for a while. So maybe you can wait a couple rounds. So you can wait 2 rounds later and still grab a quarterback. So I'm between Mark Ingram, Devontae Parker, Stephon Diggs. That's kind of where I'm at. I like Kareem Hunt too, but this is early for him. I think we're going to go with Devontae Parker. Just see what happens. It was kind of between him and Diggs. Diggs goes off right there after we pick. So we had a couple quarterbacks go off there. We had Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. I wonder if Dak went off before there as well. Hayden Hurst went off in the 6th round. That's real early for him. Michael Gallup was in there. AJ Green in the end of the 5th. That's pretty early for him too as well. Tyler Boyd, Jarvis Landry in the 5th. I'm not crazy about. He's consistent, but he's coming off his hip injury. So now we're in the 6th round. So we still got Dak here. We got Kyler here, and Josh Allen. So there's still 3 quarterbacks. Crazy there. We're at running back. We're still kind of in the guys that are in committees. So I'm not chasing one of them either. Kareem Hunt will probably be the guy to go after there. And then we got Julian Edelman, Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson. So once again, I'm coming to at a place where I don't really have anybody that I want in this spot. I really don't want a tight end. I'm going to wait on a tight end. I usually wait on tight end till the end. So right here, I'm kind of between Dak and Kyler. I don't have a problem taking... I'm going to take Kyler. I don't have a problem with him in the 6th round. So Dak goes right after him. It looks like we kind of had a little bit of a wide receiver run. We had N'Keal Harry in the 7th. That's pretty early as well. That's been an interesting draft so far. Darius Slayton went in the 6th. Deebo Samuel still in the 6th, even with his injury. That's kind of interesting as well. So let's see. We got Kareem Hunt still out there. So let's see, we got DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers, Kareem Hunt, Darius Guy, James White, Keyshawn Vaughn, Jordan Howard, and Sony Michel. So the only guys I like out of that group is Kareem Hunt and Jordan Howard. Wide receiver is still pretty much the same guys we had there last time. We got our quarterback already, so we ain't going to worry about that. I'm just going to take Kareem Hunt here. And for me, getting him in the 7th round, that's pretty good value. Sometimes you'll see him fly off the board in the 6th. These last 2 guys here, Deontay Johnson and Anthony Miller, were 2 guys that I do like a wide receiver a lot this year. So it kind of sucks that they went off the board before us. So right now we got Kyler, Joe Mixon, Le'Veon Bell, Kenny Galladay, DJ Moore, Devontae Parker, and Kareem Hunt. We got most of our starting lineup. Looks pretty good. Tight end, defense, and kicker we're going to take later on. So we're kind of looking at filling up bench spots, guys that could break out this year, and building up depth, running back and wide receiver. So Jordan Howard would be my pick if I'm taking a running back here. Wide receiver, we got Christian Kirk, Jameson Crowder, Mike Williams, Sterling Shepard, CeeDee Lamb. I think we're just going to go with Jameson Crowder here, because he's a solid wide receiver number 4. It's a half-point PPR league, so he's a safe guy that's not going to hurt us, be able to fill in. He's a good bench player. So we got Darius Guys, J.K. Dobbins. San Francisco defense went off there. That was pretty early. Matt Breida got picked. Stafford. So Breida actually got picked, I think, before Jordan Howard here. Let's take a look here. So Jordan Howard, yeah, Breida did go before Jordan Howard. We got him, and we got Tevin Coleman there. Tevin Coleman's kind of interesting if Mostert's been threatening a trade as well. So I think we're going to go with Jordan Howard here. Tevin Coleman's there the next round. Maybe we come back around and pick him. There's a lot of names moving up. So since this has the expert consensus rankings, you'll see a lot of names, they'll move up and down. So like I did this a couple weeks ago, and guys like Michael Pittman Jr. has been moving up. I'd say Deshaun Jackson's been moving up. Jalen Reagor's been moving up a little bit now too. So we got Phillip Lindsay, Tevin Coleman, Latavius Murray. So there's a lot of good handcuff running backs here, or guys that could have standalone potential in this range. Tevin Coleman's probably the most tempting name right now. Wide receivers, we got guys like Preston Williams coming off an injury, Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard kind of in the same spot in New York. We got McCole Hardman, Henry Ruggs, so guys that are kind of hit or miss. Robbie Anderson, same way. Brashard Perriman, same way. So we're kind of in the who do we want to take a chance on area. Tight ends, I'm not going to touch Evan Ingram. He's coming off Liz Frank surgery. He's already injury prone. And we got guys like, then it drops down to Jared Cook, Rob Gronkowski, Austin Hooper, Mike Gesicki, Noah Fant. So this is the point where, like, down in here, I'm probably going to take a shot on 1 or 2 of those guys. Quarterback, we already got Kyler, so I'm really not looking to take anybody else at this point. Most of the times, like in your league, if you're just in a standard 1 quarterback league, you don't really need to take 2 quarterbacks, because you're either taking somebody that you feel confident in starting most of the year, or somebody you're going to pick up and try to stream. So maybe it's a guy that's got a good first couple weeks matchup, and then like you're just gonna keep trading him out. So we're between. Let's see, where was I at? I'm just gonna go with Tevin Coleman. Like Latavius Murray is kind of up there too, but I take Tevin Coleman just because if his situation could get better as well. Nyheim Hines went that early. That's pretty early for Nyheim Hines. You see Damian Harris coming off the board now, so he's coming off the board a lot earlier in these mock drafts with expert consensus. So I'm going to take a look at my team again. So we got the starting roster filled out again. We got Jamison Crowder. We got two backup running backs. So maybe we'll go look at wide receiver. We'll look at wide receiver and running back value now. So we got Alexander Madison. In the 11th round is pretty good because if Dalvin Cook does hold out, then he has a lot of value. Then you're looking at guys that are pretty much handcuffs, or Darrell Henderson could be in a committee. So wide receivers, we got, these are like the wide receivers I'm not crazy about. Like Brandon Ayuk's in here. Like he could do something now that Debo's hurt. I'm not counting on it. Yeah, these guys are all just kind of the same at this point. All guys that you're trying to take a shot on. Golden Tate maybe, Preston Williams maybe. Tight end, we still got pretty much the same guys there. I think at this point, like if I'm drafting like right now, I'm going to take Alexander Madison. We're going to go for the upside pick and hope like Dalvin Cook doesn't play. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are going to come off in between here, so it looks like there's a lot of wide receivers that were picked since last time. Tom Brady was in there. Let's see, A.J. Dillon, Darrell Henderson, Boston Scott. So now that we're down in the 12th round, we got how many more spots left on our bench? We got 2 more bench spots left, and then we got defense, kicker, and tight end. Still a grab. So defense and kicker, I'm taking the last 2 rounds. That's a strategy you guys should always follow. At least take your kicker in the last round. Sometimes defense, you might take around like 1 or 2 rounds earlier if there's one you're really trying to go after, but I'm not crazy on doing that myself. A lot of times throughout the year, I'll just stream defenses. So you just want, so in that situation, you just want somebody that has a good matchup like week 1. The running backs here, I got Anthony McFarland Jr., Darrington Evans. Those are 2 guys that I still like. Looks like they'll be on the board for a little bit longer. Got Preston Williams, Samuel. So like this is where you want to take a shot on like wide receiver maybe. None of these guys I'm like too crazy about. Like if you're getting John Ross in the last round, I'd take a shot on him just see if he does something like week 1. But there's like nobody crazy down here. They're all just guys that you're going to take a shot on. I mean, maybe Preston Williams here, but he's coming off the ACL tear too. That's a tough one. This draft's actually been a lot tougher than most of the ones I've done lately. So I think I'm just going to take McFarland Jr. here because I'm probably going to end up with him anyways. I like to build running back depth. He's a guy that has value if James Conner does get hurt again. We pretty much only have 1 wide receiver on the bench. We got lots of running back depth. We got guys that could be full-time starters in Jordan Howard, Tevin Coleman, Alexander Madison, just depending on their situation. I got Anthony McFarland, who could have some standalone value or real value if he James Conner gets hurt. So we're going to go back here. It's time to take a wide receiver or tight end pretty much. Tight end, they're all pretty much been the same. Actually, if you look here too, it'll show you the draft board. So this will show like every team what they've been picking. It's all color coded. So green is quarterback, defense is gray. This orange is colors tight ends, or I guess red colors tight ends, orange colors wide receivers, blue colors running back. If you have a grid like this, you can look and see what other teams have already picked. Like say if somebody's already got a quarterback, or like this guy's got 2 quarterbacks, and if I waited on quarterback, like and my pick's next to him, I'm not going to have to worry about him picking up another quarterback. Or this guy's got 2 tight ends, so I don't have to worry about him picking up another tight end. It's just a strategy that some people use. Go back here. I like some of these running backs, but I can't take another one. So this is where we're taking a shot on a wide receiver. So like a Brandon Ayuk, hoping Debo doesn't do it, hoping that he gets a big time role without Debo. Paris Campbell in his 2nd year. James Washington I wouldn't touch. Denzel Mims I'm probably not going to touch. D.D. Westbrook maybe. Randall Cobb no. Corey Davis no. Tyrell Williams no. John Ross. I might just take like a stab at John Ross here. Mohamed Sanu is like somebody I might take a chance on too, because New England, like, they don't have many wide receivers, so it's all just going to be like a crapshoot this year. And it just kind of depends on who Cam likes throwing the ball to. Maybe I'll just tighten my tight end because some of those wide receivers are going to be the same. So we got Austin Hooper, Rob Gronkowski, Gesicki, Jonnu Smith, Goddard, Doyle. Ebron's a guy I like a lot too. So if I'm taking two tight ends, maybe two guys that I'm taking a flyer on, maybe I'll take him. But I think I'm going to take a wide receiver with my other pick, so I'm going to try to get somebody with a little bit more stability, I guess. So we could get, but if I was doing it the other way, maybe I'd take Hockenson and Ebron or Jonnu Smith and Ebron. I think, God, this one's tough too. Maybe, I'm not going to take Gronk. I just don't see it. I guess we'll take Hooper here. I'm not like crazy about the pick. He should finish as a tight end 1. Let's see. Darrington Evans is up here. He's a guy I like a lot, but I kind of already filled out too much. I think I'm just going to take John Ross here. Take my flyer wide receiver on him. Best part about John Ross is, like, when the Bengals play week 1, we'll see if AJ Green's healthy. We'll see how much T. Higgins on the field. Tyler Boyd's going to be on the field a bunch. So if John Ross is healthy, we'll see if he has any rapport with Joe Burrow. How much playing time he gets compared to some of the other wide receivers. Because he could have value this year as well. Let's see, defenses, we're looking at Buffalo. So we got Buffalo, Chicago, New Orleans, Kansas City, Minnesota, the Rams. So they got the Chargers all the way down at 13. I don't know who the Chargers play. Let's see if I can see their games. So they play Kansas City the first week, then so they play Cincinnati and then Kansas City. So maybe that's why they got the Chargers kind of down lower, because they play Kansas City right away in the season. I think they're going to have a good defense though. But let's take a look here. So part of that, what we can do is look at the different matchups. So like Buffalo plays the Jets and Miami like the first 2 weeks, so that's probably pretty good matchups for them. Then they play the Rams and then the Raiders. So part of that, like I was saying with streaming defenses, part of it is like you want to see who they play. So Bears play the Lions, Giants, Falcons. That could be all right. Tampa Bay. I think like if you're doing the streaming, I'd probably take Buffalo. If I'm taking the one that I'm going to try to use all year long, I'm probably going to take the Chargers, but then I might have to pick up a second defense week 2 against Kansas City, because I'm not really going to try to start a defense against Kansas City. We're going to go with the streaming, so we'll just take the Bills for the first 2 good week matchups. And then last pick, we're going to have to take kicker. I mean, technically, we don't have to take a kicker. So, like, unless your league makes you, another strategy what you can do is you could just not draft a kicker, draft like another draft another position. So if we were going to draft like Darrington Evans, maybe if he's still there, maybe we take him there. And then when we get closer to the season, we can cut like one of our bench players and pick up a kicker for week 1. So we got Robbie Gould, like I've said before in videos, you want a kicker on a team that's going to score a lot of points, or a kicker on like a bad team that's going to get a lot of opportunities. Like Houston seems good, but like as a Texans fan, I watch Kyrie Fairbairn kick all the time. Like it scares the crap out of me. I'm gonna go with Zane Gonzalez. I think maybe the Cardinals will score more points this year, and he's a pretty accurate kicker, so we'll just take him. So this is gonna show us everything. So this is gonna show the grade for the draft. So they gave me a B, 83 out of 100. I don't think we had a bad draft. If you look at the starting lineup for us, we got Kyler Murray, Joe Mixon, Le'Veon Bell, Kenny Galladay, DJ Moore, Devontae Parker, Austin Hooper, Kareem Hunt, Bills defense, kicker. Then we got Jamison Crowder. Like, I like this team. I think it's pretty good. There might have been a couple picks we could have changed around and made it a little bit better, but like overall, I think it's a solid team. We got 2 running backs with roles, a quarterback that should be easy QB1, potential top 5 quarterback. We got 2 potential Wide receivers ones, Parker could be a wide receiver 2. Hooper is just a solid tight end. Kareem Hunt in the flex. Like, there's a lot of upside with this team, but every time you do this, they're gonna grade you compared to the other teams in your draft. So I'm going to take a look real quick at some of the other teams. So this guy, Christian McCaffrey, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin, DJ Chark. That's a pretty good team right there. A pretty good start at least. Raheem Mostert, Tyler Higbee, Matt Stafford, CeeDee Lamb, Latavius Murray, Brashard Perriman, Daniel Jones, Hunter Renfrow, Joshua Kelly, Patriots defense, and Dan Bailey. That's a pretty good team actually. So I'm not surprised. Obviously with the first pick you're going to get McCaffrey or somebody like that. Next team over had Alvin Kamara, Juju Smith-Schuster, Odell Beckham, Tyler Lockett, Zach Ertz, Brandon Cooks, Ronald Jones. So he kind of took more of an RB0 strategy after he took Kamara. So like that RB0 strategy just means like you're not taking a whole bunch of running backs early and then trying to fill in later. So then you got guys like Ronald Jones, Tariq Cohen, Matt Breida, so Henry Ruggs, Philip Lindsay, Sammy Watkins, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Burrow. So and they waited on quarterback as well. I'm not crazy about his team. He had a different strategy, though. This guy, you got Saquon, Lamar Jackson, Austin Eckler, Chris Carson. That's a pretty good start right there. Cooper Kupp that late in the 5th round is great value. Deebo Samuel is kind of a little bit early for me with his injury. Hunter Henry, Christian Kirk, 49ers defense, McCole Hardman, Alshon Jeffrey, Adrian Peterson. So he had a pretty good start to the draft, but I don't love his end of the draft. These wide receivers are kind of hurting a little bit. Then we got the 4th team. They had Michael Thomas, George Kittle. So they really did like an RB0 on the first 2 rounds at least. So he got the best wide receiver, one of the best tight ends, and then he got Leonard Fournette, which ain't a bad strategy there. You got the running back with a workload. Then you got DK Metcalf for second wide receiver, not awful. Montgomery, another running back with a workload. So he kind of balanced this out pretty good. Then you got Slayton, N'Keal Harry, 2 guys that could have some upside. Carson Wentz, J.K. Dobbins, Naheem Hines, Damian Harris. So kind of a lot of running backs with some upside. Preston Williams, Drew Lock. He's got like an okay team. I wouldn't call it anything crazy. It is a little bit different strategy, but I think he pulled off his strategy fairly well. Crimea Rivers, let's see, Ezekiel Elliott, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen. So he went wide receiver heavy, definitely. But having Zeke as your main running back is great, and then he paired both the Tampa wide receivers together, A.J. Brown and Keenan Allen. So he could have some very stacked wide receivers. Then you got Dak Prescott, pretty good quarterback there. Then you got some like committee running backs and Michelle, Geis, and Singletary, Sterling Shepard. He doesn't have a bad team really. He might need some running back help, but maybe one of these other teams that had running backs can help him. So this was our team. Don't have more to say about our team really. Let's see, the team after us, they got Nick Chubb, Travis Kelce, Todd Gurley, David Johnson. So that was not a bad start. They got running backs that have workloads, top tight end. Then he was able to get Jarvis Landry, Marquise Brown. Not a bad pairing, but like you don't want either one of them to be your wide receiver 1. Anthony Miller, Emmanuel Sanders, Jalen Reagor. Emmanuel Sanders, I don't love that pick, but like all these other wide receivers aren't too bad. Boston Scott has some upside. Allen Lazard, Tannehill, Armstead. So it's not too bad. Next team, Derrick Henry, Miles Sanders. That's a good running back combination. Then he added James Conner there too. Amari Cooper, Tyler Boyd. That's not too bad. Russell Wilson, Will Fuller, Deontay Johnson, James White, Mike Williams, Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, Rob Gronkowski, Royce Freeman. That's a real questionable one, but otherwise, like this guy's team, he had a very solid draft. If you pay more when the grading comes up, you can see progression. You could see the projected standings as well. I don't know if you can do it here. It's under analyzed draft. Yeah, you gotta pay for that as well. I think I lost that now, but that was just a little gist of what we were doing. So overall, guys, that's kind of a mock draft in a nutshell. Taking a look at my team, some of my thoughts, talking about some strategy with the draft. If you liked this video, if you'd like to see some more mock drafts, some more different, we'll have some of them. We'll show mock drafts with different strategies, maybe running back heavy, or 0 running backs, 0 wide receivers, taking a tight end early, taking a quarterback in like the first 2 or 3 rounds. We can look at some of those, and then we'll look at different strategy or picking from different positions as well. So if you guys like this video, just give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. It'd be much appreciated if you did so. If you're a new subscriber, already subscribed, just make sure you hit that little notification bell. It'll let you know every time we post a video. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know down in the comments at the Coach Craig Sports email or on the Facebook page as well. That's all I got for today. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.